Hey there friends, welcome to another knitting video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to knit the Beaded Rib Knit Stitch pattern. Now this pattern is part of the Patchwork Blanket Project if you are following along with that. If you're not and this is the first time, I'll explain what that is. But if you want to go ahead and learn how to do this knit, it's really easy, so let's jump into it. Now for this project, you're going to need to know how to cast on, knit and purl, and bind off. If you need help with any of that, I'll have a link down in the description below for my videos explaining more in depth of how to do that. Now to get started on your project, you are going to want to cast on multiples of 4 plus 3. So the Patchwork Blanket Project is actually a fun little thing that I ended up doing with all of the swashes that we are making in this project. So every other week I upload a knitting video, and for whatever we end up learning for that stitch for that week, we're going to make a square that is going to be the number of times that you end up casting on. So you want to always stay consistent. So for me, I always want to try to cast on 30, but for this one it'll require me to do 31, so I'll cast on 31. Then from that you want to do that many rows up, so I'm going to be knitting 31 rows. Now the idea behind this is you always want to cast on the same amount of rows and do those rows up to form either kind of a square or something that might look like a square. And then after we get enough of these swashes, we're going to stitch them all together to create a unique patchwork blanket from all of the new stitches that you have learned throughout this series. Now you're more than welcome to follow along with this as part of a playlist, so you can kind of check that in if you want, or if not, you just want to learn how to do this stitch, that is perfectly fine too. Whatever you want to do with your craft, that's up to you. So now that we have all of our stitches cast on, let's go ahead and jump into row 1. So to get started, you are going to knit in the first stitch, and then you're going to be doing a repeat of purl 1, knit 3. You'll repeat this to the last 2 stitches, and the last 2 stitches, one is going to be a purl followed by a knit. So again, let's go over what we're going to do for row 1. Row 1, you're going to start off by knitting 1, then go into a repeat of purl 1, knit 3. Repeat this all the way to the last 2 stitches, and then those last 2 stitches you are going to purl 1, then knit 1, and turn your work. Now that we've finished row 1, let's go ahead and jump into row 2. To start off, you are going to knit 2. Then you're going to go into the repeat of purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1. And you're going to repeat this all the way into the last stitch, and the last stitch will be a knit 1. So let's go over this again. When you go into row 2, you're going to start off by knitting 2 and then doing the repeat of a purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, and you'll repeat that all the way into the last stitch, and the last stitch is going to be a knit. So now that we have finished row 1 and 2, to continue on with this pattern, you are just going to repeat rows 1 and 2 until you reach the desired size for your project. So let's go over the rows one more time that are going to be your repeats for your project. Row 1, you're going to knit 1 and then do a repeat of purl 1, knit 3 until you reach the last 2 stitches, and then you're going to purl 1, knit 1, and turn your work. For row 2, you are going to start off by knitting 2, then doing a repeat of a purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, and you'll repeat that all the way into the last stitch, which is going to be a knit, and you are going to turn your work. This is the repeat in order to create the desired size for your project. And after a while of doing this, you'll end up really starting to see the texture for this pattern, which I actually really enjoyed how simple this was, but how delicate this ended up looking as a stitch. Like, it's something more complicated than it actually is. And you can tell people that, hey, this took me forever, when in reality, it probably ended up knitting up pretty quickly. And there you have it, how to knit the beaded rib knit stitch pattern. Hopefully you end up trying this out for yourself, and let me know down in the comments how your projects are turning out, maybe using this stitch or maybe using a different stitch from one of my other videos. I hope that you enjoyed this though. If you did, please consider giving it a like, and if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I try to do some sort of crafting video every week, and I would love to have you here as part of this amazing community. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.